Sometimes a day can feel like it's just going to be any other day, a normal day, a nice Saturday at the weekend, things planned, fun stuff going on, and then it gets completely derailed by a broken iPhone charger. Boys and girls, this is absolutely not the video that I planned to be releasing to you today. In fact, I started making a completely different video. I've got a clip of it that I'll throw in now. It's actually the only vlog clip we managed to record yesterday, though, in the end, because shortly after me and Amy got back from the shop, you'll see the clip in a second, Andy had probably the biggest meltdown that he's had since the time we had to phone the police, not long after we moved in. I'm going to tell you all about that in a second. First, I'll show you what yesterday was supposed to be as we got started with a normal vlog. We went out to get some breakfast. Boys and girls, after the shenanigans of earlier this week, we are now fully all in, back on a health kick again, which means intermittent fasting has recommenced, which means as it stands now at about 11:30 on Saturday morning, I haven't eaten since about 7 o'clock last night. I am hungry and we are walking up to the shop for a little bit of exercise.
I've eaten half.
And to grab some delicious brunchy breakfasty style foods, because if you're going to do an intermittent fast, you may as well have egg, bacon, avocado, delicious toast for breakfast. It's all within the calorie limit, it's fine. So yeah, as you can see, the health kick is officially back on. It never really fully went away, but I'm taking it extra doubly seriously now after everything that happened earlier in the week. I'm still not feeling 100%. I know me and Anna ended up streaming on Twitch last night, and it was awesome. Anna had like 200 or 300 people watching at all times. We had lots of fun, but by the end of that I was utterly exhausted. I don't feel unwell, I just don't fully feel myself. I'm on this new medication and it's making me feel a little bit odd, so I've decided to, I think it might end up being the wake-up call that I needed to just draw a line under everything that's gone before. I don't care about weight. I don't care about Fit by 40 anymore. I don't care about calories in, calories out, macros, making gains in the gym, any nonsense like that. I've kind of gone completely back to basics, and all I care about is feeling healthier. So that's what we're going to be doing this based on. I'm intermittent fasting. I've cut out all sugary sweets and snacks and things, which when we've got so many in the house, it's probably not the best time to do that because there's a lot here. But that's all I've done for now. Just cut those out, go back to intermittent fasting, and just go baby steps, eliminate things when they need eliminating. I know it's something that I can do. Years ago, I decided to stop smoking, and I just stopped smoking and never smoked again. Years ago, I decided to stop drinking, and I just stopped drinking and never drank again. So it's completely within my control and within my experience and willpower to just say, right, I'm never going to eat sweets and chocolate and stuff like that again, and then never eat it again. But I've never really gone into it with that kind of conviction before that I'm never going to do it again. I used to really enjoy drinking. Actually, I didn't really enjoy drinking. I liked smoking. I didn't really enjoy drinking, which is why I quit that. But smoking, I loved smoking. It was brilliant. Don't smoke, kids. But I knew it was bad for me, so I stopped doing it. And I have to put sweets and chocolate and stuff like that into the same category. So sweets and snacks and stuff like that, I need to define exactly what I mean. Am I not allowed birthday cake? Haven't decided yet, that kind of thing. But certainly sweets, chocolate bars, that kind of stuff is done. And I'm intermittent fasting again. And then once we've mastered that, once we've got to the point where all of that is second nature and I'm not craving sweets and chocolate anymore, because I don't ever crave cigarettes anymore, haven't for years. So I know I'll reach the point where I don't even want that stuff anymore. That's when we decide what the next thing to eliminate is, and we just start chopping out the things that need chopping out. I know people are going to tell me that, Kev, anything in moderation, just eat healthy, blah, 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 blah. If I could eat in moderation, I wouldn't have got in this state in the first place. We're just going to cut stuff out, keep it cut out, and get healthy. So that's that. That's basically what the theme of yesterday's vlog was going to be. We were going to go out and do some stuff as well, and have like a normal family weekend Saturday, an adventure Saturday. But someone said in the chat to Anna's stream last night, or I say Anna's stream, it was our stream, we were both streaming. Someone said in the chat to that, why are you both streaming when you've got your daughter here for the weekend? I didn't dignify it with a response at the time, because I thought, well, there's no need for you to be as wangy as that in the chat to Twitch. But the answer is, and Amy had gone home. Andy had had his massive meltdown earlier in the day. He'd had his medication and gone to bed, so Andy was fast asleep. Amy had gone home because the weekend was a write-off because of the meltdown. And yeah, me and Anna we had an evening where we could stream together, so that's why we streamed. We were able to announce it a little bit earlier in the day because we know what happens with Andy after he's had a meltdown. I drove Amy home mid-afternoon, and then by the time I got back, Andy was already asleep. So that's why we were able to. But yeah, the meltdown itself, it was just a perfect storm. It wasn't anything particularly bad that caused it. And if it had happened at any other point during the day, it would have been fine. But the timing of it meant we couldn't deal with it straight away and were able to escalate it. So basically what happened is Andy's been having a little bit of trouble lately with the Apple chargers in his bedroom, both for his iPad and for his phone. We've had to get him a couple of new ones recently. He's got a little bit of a habit of kind of bending them and breaking them, and they don't chargers never really last very long with Andy. He's quite hard on them. We've tried all of the ones that have the cabling thing on there, the woven cables that are supposedly unbreakable. No cable has ever lasted more than a month with Andy, but just lately he's been getting through them much faster than that. And yesterday morning, not long after we got back from the shops, I think we just finished having our breakfast that me and Amy went out to fetch, and Anna was in the shower. We were getting ready to attack the day and go out and do something, and I was in here just doing some thumbnails and stuff for the videos that were coming out this weekend, and I just heard a big crash. So I went out there straight away to see what the crash was, and was met on the middle landing by a completely naked Andy holding a Apple charger, which he just threw at me and said broken. But I'm already thinking, well, what's the crash then? Because that wouldn't explain the crash. What's happened? Has your iPad gone out the window? Have you come down the stairs? So I ended up following him back upstairs to see what was going on, and he had both chargers in his hands once he got back to his room. So he got up there first, grabbed another charger. He had both of these charger cables in his hands and was just saying broken. And I didn't know where we had another one that we could swap it with, because I don't use a charger cable. Although I've got an iPhone and an iPad, I have one of those wireless charging things in the bedroom that doesn't use an Apple charger. It's a USB thing that goes like this one. One of these I've got, like, these are all over the house. Andy hates them. He likes to be plugged in because he likes to have them plugged in while he's using them, so these are no good. But that isn't a lightning socket on the back of that, it's a USB. So I use them for all of my devices, mainly because I've got both an Apple phone and an Android phone, and it means I don't have to have multiple chargers. They both work on the wireless thing. It's just more convenient for me. So I didn't have a cable that I could give him, and Anna's in the shower. So I'm calling for Anna saying, help, I don't know where I can find a cable. Have we got another cable or something? Because I knew there would be some, but she's in the shower, can't hear me, can't come and help straight away. So I'm there trying to make the decision. Do I stay in Andy's room to stop him from wrecking stuff? Because when he gets upset like this, that's his first instinct, to start smashing stuff, start breaking stuff. So do I stay there to stop that happening, but knowing that the problem is going to keep escalating because I'm not solving it? Or do I go to Anna in the bathroom and explain to her what's going on, get her out of the shower and get her to come and help? Andy's medicine that we're supposed to give him the moment he starts getting upset is also in our bathroom. That's where we keep it, so it's easy to get to in situations like this, but not within reach of Andy, so he could get his hands on it. So I probably made the wrong choice of staying in his room because I didn't want him to smash his TV. We've gone through, he smashed 2 TVs in the 7 months that we've lived here. I'd rather we didn't have a third smashed TV. They're expensive to keep replacing. So I figured stay in there,
just tell him to wait a minute, keep calling for Anna. I'm sort of going, Anna, we need you. She's going, I'm in the shower, I can't hear you. But she's rushing, she's going to try and get to us. So I stayed in there, but it just kept getting worse and worse, to the point where he was sort of trying to push past me and get to her, even though he obviously can't walk into the bathroom while she's in the shower because she's naked, and it all became a thing. So in the end, I said, right, stay there, I'm going to go and get Mummy will help. He did stay in his room. He did break his Xbox controller while I was away from him. He's taken I say break, he didn't break it, the rechargeable battery thing that goes in the back of it, that's gone. We don't know where it's gone. I think that might have even been the thing that went down the stairs with the original crash, the whole controller, I don't know. But I ended up going to get Anna, and by the time Anna got to us, probably only 90 seconds had passed from the initial crash, but because we weren't able to give him a charger immediately and we weren't able to get his medication in him quickly, he'd already escalated to the point of no return, and he ran off down the stairs. It all kind of blurs together. I remember him being on the middle landing, searching through a cardboard box looking for his Xbox controller, but not letting us help. I had a new controller in my hand by this point. Anna had given me hers and said, go give him that one, while she was like wrapping a towel around it, give him that one, that will do for now. So I'm chasing after him with an iPhone controller, not iPhone controller, an iPhone cable, but by this point of no return, he doesn't want it anymore. By now he's upset, he's in meltdown, he doesn't know why, he doesn't remember what the problem is, he just knows that everything's gone at that point. There's no bringing him back from it. With logic, you can't bring him back with what the original problem is. He's no longer upset because he wants an Apple charger, he's now upset because he's upset and it's horrible and he can't cope with it because he's in meltdown. So by the time Anna was kind of dressed and able to come and help us, we were on the staircase just outside my office. We'd made it all the way down here. Andy had taken all of his clothes off again, I want to say. They might have still been off from originally, and he was trying to just anything he got near, he was trying to throw and break. He threw a coat off of the coat rack. There were some letters on the stairs. They got through over the side of the stairs. The Ring doorbell. We have a chime thing for the Ring doorbell on the middle landing. That got pulled out of the plug socket and thrown. Anything that was within arm reach that was breakable was getting broken. And the only way back from this kind of situation is to get his medicine into him. But he's only able to sort of process, take the medicine, it will help in those first 20-30 seconds of when things start to go wrong. And because that time was wasted trying to get to Anna, and I'm not saying it's Anna's fault at all, she was in the shower, she has to shower or she'll smell bad, but because I made the choice to protect his stuff rather than go and get a charger and get the medicine, we lost that window of being able to medicate him with him on board with it, which would have diffused the situation almost immediately. So we ended up then spending probably the next, I want to say, at least an hour. It could have easily been 2. You kind of lose track of time when it's all going on. Almost in like an MMA match with a naked Andy halfway up the stairs, where I've got to keep him in one place, because if he moves from that place, he's going to break stuff and he's going to hurt himself. He's going to try and hurt us. The whole time he's trying to hurt me to get me away from him. So he's kicking, he's punching, he's biting, any opportunity to cause pain or annoyance, because at one point he just flicked my glasses off like that, just got his finger under the corner of the glasses, just flicked them off my face and down the stairs. He'll just do anything to try and get any kind of reaction, and so yeah, he's just there kicking, punching, biting, and in the end, at some point during all of this kerfuffle, we managed to sort of pin him down on the stairs, which sounds awful, but we'd got to the point where it was either that or get the police again, because he's not safe, we're not safe, the property's not safe, things are getting broken, he's going to end up getting hurt. He's got this thing where he'll push his foot or his arm as hard as he can into a part of my body, like he'll get his foot and really push into the side of my leg to the point where he's moving me. So I then have to try and sort of push back and push him off. And as soon as I'm there sort of pushing away from him, and then all of a sudden he'll just release all the pressure from his end, and I don't know when he's going to do that. So my arm's going across like that because he's releasing the pressure as I'm pushing away. And because we're on the stairs and so close to the wall, there was like 4 times where I've effectively slammed his foot into the wall or slammed his arm into the wall, not deliberately, but because I'm pushing one way, he's pushing the other, and then he just releases the pressure and it slings back. So Anna's there sort of above us, because he doesn't do any of this to her. Anna's there kind of saying, stop throwing him into the wall. I'm not throwing him into the wall. Oh, God, it was horrible. But then we got him pinned down on the stairs, still completely naked, where I've effectively got arms on each of his upper arms to stop him punching, and then I've got my shin across his waist sort of thing. I'm not trying to push his legs down, I'm trying to just kind of stop him having any kind of thrust so he can't kick. So I've got all 4 of his limbs controlled, and then Anna had to kind of hold his forehead down like that and squirt the medicine in from the syringe, and then as soon as it's squirted in, it's kind of a case of hold his nose and mouth so that he has to swallow it, because otherwise he just spits it straight back out again. And it all sounds awful. I realise it sounds awful, but within probably 10 minutes of that, everything had calmed down. He was starting to listen to reason again. He just suddenly went from being violent and angry to asking for a charger again. So he'd remembered what the original issue was. We're like, yeah, there's one right here. It's been in my pocket this whole time. Here you go. And he just went upstairs, plugged his iPad in, plugged his phone in. So he had 2 new cables, a new block. Anna has lots of spares. I need to learn where they are. But yeah, he plugged everything in, and within 20 minutes of the medicine, he was asleep, because that's what it does. It makes him sleep. We woke him up at 5 o'clock for his dinner, but he was completely drowsy during dinner. We didn't really want to eat his normal waffle and fish fingers, but we had some burger buns, some sesame burger buns, and he ate them because they're his favourite. We just don't have them all the time because they cost a fortune in comparison to everything else. So he doesn't have them every day, but we got him some of them as a treat. He ate them. He came downstairs to watch Night Garden in the CBeebies bedtime hour, and he's there lying on the beanbag, sort of half on the beanbag, half on Anna, eyes shut, but every now and again talking along with what's going on. So he's not acting out Night Garden the way he normally does. He's half asleep doing it. And then as soon as the bedtime hour was done, he went back up to bed and went back to sleep. So he kind of slept from about 3 p.m. till 5. We woke him up, kept him awake for like an hour and a half, and then he was asleep again by 7 and slept through the rest of the night, and he's absolutely fine this morning. But from sort of start to finish, from the initial phone charger incident probably happening at maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it just threw the entire day out. Everything was different and out of routine, and just completely thrown out of kilter by the initial incident and then the after effects of the medication. So yeah, that's why there was no normal vlog to come out today, because yesterday was a disaster. I'm not going to go into this kind of detail every time that happens, because it does happen more often than we'd all like. It's probably, to that, like I say, to that degree, that's the worst one in probably 6 months. But I would say there's probably 2 or 3 times a fortnight, I want to say. So not like it's probably a little more often than once a week, but not quite twice a week, if you get what I mean. He'll get worked up enough for him to need to have the medicine. But usually, like 99 times out of 100, we get there quick enough and just diffuse it. But every now and again, that happens, and it's horrible for everybody. And as we've said before, when stuff like this has gone on, we've still had no safe handling training. We've still had no support with what to do in these kind of situations. I know some of you are going to be like, you shouldn't really be pinning him down. You shouldn't be fighting with him the way you are. You should just let him get it out of his system. But you're not there. You don't see it. You know, he will trash the entire house if we just let him have free rein. We have to keep him in one place for his own safety and for our stuff and his stuff. He would smash up his iPad, his phone, his TV, his consoles, the windows. He was trying to kick the poles off of the banisters at one point. We've had him smash the telly earlier this year. We can't have the whole house smashed up every time something goes wrong, because we can't afford to keep replacing everything. You know, we're lucky enough to have been able to replace the TVs. He's had broken an iPad before, we were able to replace that. But if we just let him free to smash everything up, that it would genuinely be thousands upon thousands of pounds of damage, and we're not in a position to just go and replace thousands of pounds worth of stuff, because it's not nice to pin him down in that kind of situation. So we kind of have to. And yeah, it's not nice the way we've had to get the medicine into him. It's horrible. But we've asked social work, we've asked CAMS for support on how to do that. And their feedback has basically been, you just got to try and get the medicine into him any way you can. That's the only way we can. So yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible for us. It's horrible for him. But it worked. It diffused the situation, but did completely write off the day. The one upside to it all, which I did sort of jokingly mention to Anna this morning after everything had completely calmed down, is ever since my incident earlier in the week where I ended up in hospital, I've been a little bit... I'm having a little bit of... am I dying anxiety? You know, have I got heart disease? Was it a heart attack? I know it wasn't. They told me it wasn't. They said it was nothing related to... like heart disease, heart problems necessarily. It was almost certainly just one of those things that happens. But you know how the brain works, and I've been doing all sorts of looking around the internet. I've been having phantom chest pains that, like, I'll just be sat there and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that feels weird, or does it? And I don't know. And then it goes away again. It's like, well, it was probably fine then. But I did say to Anna, it's reassured me a little bit after doing an hour of MMA ground and pound, without the pound, but you know what I mean, a bit of an hour of having to basically wrestle Andy on the stairs, and I didn't get any chest pains when I was doing that because I was distracted by something else. So I figure we're probably okay on that front, and Andy's put me through a full fitness test, and I think I'm fine. But yeah, it was just a rubbish day. Like I say, if it happens again, we'll probably just miss the day with the video. But I figure this is part of reality. We've not really talked about this for a little while. I'll bring you up to date on what meltdowns are like now. And the next time there is one, we'll probably just miss the day. And the next day I'll say, yeah, there was no video yesterday because, and that'll be enough. But I figured today we'll do this. I've already started recording tomorrow's video. It's much happier than this one. See you tomorrow for that one.